The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says it would continue to appeal to aggrieved persons in the party to eschew bitterness and forge a common front towards the party's efforts to regain political power in 2023. According to Atiku's spokesman, Paul Ibe, it is normal for people to be aggrieved, but the PDP has a way of resolving such issues, adding that the major task is to defeat the ruling APC in 2023. This reaction has come in the wake of recent remarks by a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, and governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, which tended to suggest a brewing crisis in Nigeria's main opposition party. To get a bit of daytime into this conversation, we are now being joined from our Rise Abuja studios by a former PDP National Vice Chairman, South Emmanuel Ogidi. Good to have you on Newsday. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. How are you all?
Well, we are fine, thank you. Now, I'd like to get your reaction, first of all, to Governor Samuel Otom's comments that he's still waiting for divine intervention on whether to support Atiku Abubakar or not. What does this suggest to you?
It doesn't suggest anything. We're all in a prayerful mood now, because he believed that power belongs to God. Yes, the party has spoken. We have a candidate, which is Elijah Atiku Abubakar. We have a vice presidential candidate, which is Ifeanyi Okowa. So that's the party's position for now. So if he says he's communicating with God, yes, there's nothing wrong with that. Even as we speak, every member of the PDP family, because we're one big family, everybody's praying, because without God, we can do nothing. Power belongs to God. So it's okay.
Okay, well, you seem to be giving off the vibe that everything's peachy within the PDP, but that appears not to be the case, because we're based on the reports that we're seeing, some of those who are part of the committee that suggested or recommended that Wike be the pick for vice president are disgruntled, and they're not too happy with the president choosing the president's choice, basically. So I'd like to ask just how united is the PDP, and what would a walkout from the likes of Wike from the party look like?
No, I don't believe they'll walk out. You see, Governor Wike keeps his words, if you recall. Governor Wike has been of great help to the party. He's worked so hard. So he has invested so much, it wouldn't work out. He's not that kind of person that works hard. He says his mind, but it doesn't work out. We all are in this business of rescuing Nigeria. And right now, PDP is the only vehicle that you can use to rescue Nigeria. But you see, it's good sometimes to express your mind, instead of keeping it and then we don't know what you're thinking. So, because we are one big family, and we already have the internal machinery to deal with issues like this, so we'll deal with it. Of course. It's nothing big. We have seen all this kind of crisis before in the party. Yes, we're not happy about it, but it has happened. So we must be able to reconcile them with us, and then we'll drive it. Everybody is important in this business, including yourself. So we don't have the luxury of losing anybody. No, in this business, we don't have the luxury at all to allow anybody to leave. So we must be able to talk, must dialogue, persuade, and allow all of us to work together as a team. They are very reasonable. Look, Otom, when Otom came to Benue State as the governor, when he moved over into PDP, he's worked so hard. So when he says God, I'm sure he consulted God too, and that's why he succeeded today in Benue. Yes, Fayose has finished his tenure as the governor of Ekiti State. So he's become an elder statesman, not just in the Ekiti State. We respect the PDP. We respect everybody. No matter how low you are and no matter how high up you are, we respect everybody in PDP because we believe that it's that joint effort that will give us victory by God's grace.
All right, and speaking of a joint effort and respect, not to harp on all the seemingly not so good things that are happening in PDP right now, just one more question to that effect. Reports are saying that there might be an underground plot to unseat the current chairman of the party, and I'm speaking of Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and that is due to the gentleman's agreement, as we all know, that the presidential candidate and the chairman cannot be from the same zone, so to speak.
Okay.
How is the party planning to appease those who might feel that that is not the right situation? And are we wrong? Is there really no plot to unseat him?
Let me explain it properly to you. I'll use myself as an example. In 2006, I was the chairman of PDP in Delta State. And after the Congress, Odua emerged as our candidate. Governor Dr. Emmanuel emerged as the candidate of PDP in Delta State. We went and we continued until after we got the victory in February, when he now was elected as governor. It was when he was setting up his government that all those things are discussed. It is not before then. So, yes, we are going to definitely, if by the grace of God, we win the election in February 2023, what do? That period of planning until the swearing in, that is when all the discussions take place. That is when the chairmanship will now move to the south. In other words, everything in the south will move to the north, and everything in the north will move to the south. That's when you also look at the political appointments, secretary of government, ministers, and so on. That's how it plays out. So for people to just fly a kite about, no, it's not true. That's why the public secretary immediately yesterday sent out the message that it's not true. So those are just, sometimes people speculate, sometimes, our enemies at work.
Let me interrupt you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Like you said seemingly. Yes, please.
Well, former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayoshi, has been very categorical. He says Governor Nyesom Wike will never support Atiku Abubakar. He also says that it is the turn of the South and not the North to produce the next president of the country. And of course, we know that Governor Nyesom Wike has been hosting some opposition politicians in recent times. So are you worried, perhaps, that these two gentlemen might just decide to work with the opposition?
No. President, I'm not worried. Wike has reason to become a statesman. People will go and visit him. We're not against visit. Recently, I was in Calabar. I visited people. Some APs, we're not enemies. So what's wrong with that? So people consult him. What he told us is that no matter who is the candidate, he will not lead the party. So why should I start doubting him now? Until he actually leaves, God forbid, I should believe him. Even Fauci that is talking today, I'm sure it's hot one way or the other, but we're going to reach him. We're going to reach every member that is aggrieved. And that's our position. So let not heart be troubled.
So you sound very optimistic, but how prepared is the party?
Yes, I am.
And that's great. But how prepared is the party for the potential of the members of this committee who are disgruntled? In the event that they decide to make a statement and decamp, how prepared is the PDP? How prepared is the PDP? How prepared are you to handle that?
Let me tell you, everybody today in PDP, including those outside the PDP, wants to rescue Nigeria from the current situation we find ourselves. It's a very, very bad situation. So nobody will want to disrupt this perfect move now to rescue Nigeria. I'm very confident of that.
Okay.
And that is why we'll do everything to make sure none of them leaves.
Okay, speaking of doing everything to make sure they don't leave, there are quite a few aggrieved members of the party. Can you give us an idea of the measures that the party is willing to take to bring those aggrieved members back onto a side where everyone...
The party will do whatever it takes
All right.
The party will do whatever it takes to make sure nobody leaves.
Can you be more specific, please?
I can't more specifically. Look, we have our internal mechanism of resolving all these issues. So don't worry.
Okay, so 11
We are
of
looking
the
at the big
12
picture. They too are also looking at the big picture.
Mr. Ogidi, 11 of the 12 governors appointed to lead the PDP's campaign for the July 16 governorship election in Osun State were absent at the inauguration in Abuja. Is this an indication that victory is not certain for the PDP in next month's election?
No. You see, our governors are very busy at this period. Let me give you an example. Don't forget that we have just finished primaries. And every governor in the various states are also setting up reconciliation committee, contact committee, and so on. Everybody's busy. Even Governor Kowa rushed to Abuja to start holding brief for everybody. So everybody's busy, as is here in Abuja. Because we have a very good deputy governor there, holding forth. Inauguration does not mean to say they're against us. No. Watch, on the day we are going for campaign, you find out that, I don't know why, you see, why you think that, yes, there are skirmishes here and there. It's expected. Are you saying all of those governors are did it because of, no, it's not true. It's not true. They're all part of it. They will make their contributions. Everybody will make their contributions. What about those that were not in the committee? So are you saying they're also offended that's why they're not in the committee? No, I don't think so. We all know that in a context like this, somebody will emerge. We all know that somebody will always be appointed, whatever method, as the vice. And after that, yes, some of those who expect to get something will feel bad. But I can tell you this, everybody is important in this business of rescuing Nigeria. And let me use the opportunity to quickly appreciate Arise TV, because you have always been there to ensure that the needful is done. And sometimes you give it to us, so we are also conscious. Each time you ask us this question, it enables us to go to the drawing board to make sure that we don't lose anybody. We cannot afford to make the mistake of 2015 when we said, when somebody said that, let them go. No. We will not let anybody go. We will not let anybody. Everybody is important in this business. Everybody is important in this business. Also, how can you wish the Governor Wike to go? A performing governor in River State? We can't let him go now. It's not possible. Is it not Tom? Who has been fighting APC on the health issue? No. We can't let them go. We will do whatever it takes to make sure they don't leave.
Well, that is
yes,
certainly, that is certainly good to hear.
No.
Certainly good to hear,
yes.
As both Wike and Fayose are
you can take it to the bank.
Well-liked politicians out there, and we wish the PDP
the
best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Chief Emmanuel Ogidi, and for your analysis.
Thank you so much for
the
the opportunity.
Situation.